The paradox of peace. The paradox of peace. Let us open the map of Europe in the year 1914 to see. The whole old continent was burning fiercely in the madness of the First World War. And after that is the Second World War. Empires collapsed. Millions of people fell. But right in the eye of the storm, there was a white point. Tiny and quiet. That is Switzerland. Switzerland. People often mock their neutrality. Is cowardice. Is standing outside the game to profit from the war. But neuroscience has a different perspective. Colder and more objective. To keep calm when the whole world goes crazy, you need a strength. Biological tremendous. That is the ability. Impulse inhibition. Inhibitory control of the cortex region. Prefrontal cortex. Standing still is harder than moving a lot. In today's video, we will decode 3 levels of thinking of the Swiss people. Part 1. We will unlock the banking system to learn about the power of security. Part 2. We look at the Rolex watch to understand the mindset of time control. And Part 3. We taste chocolate to learn how to enjoy true happiness. If you are feeling your life too noisy and chaotic, then this video is the map leading you to the peaceful zone. Welcome you to the art of standing still amidst the volatile life. Part 1. The fortress in the mind. The national redoubt. Let us turn back time to the 25th day of July 1940, at the Rutley Meadow, when France had collapsed and Nazi Germany was surrounding the border. General Henri Guisan did not choose to surrender. He ordered to withdraw 300,000 soldiers deep into the Alps range to activate the strategy. Schweizer Redoubt. National fortress. Historical data records. The Swiss people built more than 20,000 bunkers and blockhouses, camouflaged as civilian houses, as cliff walls. They turned the whole country into a giant hedgehog, making Hitler exclaim, "Switzerland is a hedgehog that I cannot swallow." That defensive spirit has permeated deep into the financial system. The banking act. Year 1934. Specifically Article 47. Article 47 was not born by chance. It was established to protect assets of the Jewish people from the confiscation of Nazi Germany. That is proof that the secrecy is the survival weapon of a tiny nation. Looking from the perspective of modern psychology, we are suffering from the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect, published by Professor Thomas Gillovich at Cornell University. We mistakenly think that the whole world is looking at us, so we continuously expose private life to please the crowd. But the harsh truth is, no one cares at all. The fact that you fling open the door of the soul only drains the reserve dopamine source and invites hurt. The Swiss people teach us the lesson about Redoubt. Withdraw troops back to the core zone of the mind. Build blockhouses of silence where you hide the biggest ambitions, like the way they hid a whole army inside the Rocky Mountains. When you have an inviolable inner self, you will no longer fear any storm of the outside world. That is the ultimate power of neutrality. Now be honest. In the bunker of your mind, how many % is absolute secret? Or has it all been illuminated by the surveillance camera of society? Are you ready To activate the strategy. Redo it for your own. Right today? Please share the commitment of yours below. Philosophy. Ultimate power is not controlling others. Ultimate power is not allowing anyone to control the inner world of oneself. Part 2. The Cathedral of Time. The Cathedral of Time. To understand the Swiss soul, we must go back to the 16th century, when the brutal religious Reformation was tearing Europe apart. The Huguenots, most talented of France, fled to Geneva to find freedom. They brought along techniques, and the indigenous people brought along the harshness of the Jura Mountains. Winter here lasts for 6 months, turning villages into oases, isolated by white snow. To survive, the farmers became paysanshorlogers. Farmer watchmakers. They did not make watches to become rich. They made to keep the brain from going crazy. Amidst the silence of the White Death, under the influence of Calvin theology, time is not money. Time is asset of God. Wasting time is a crime. Exactly this extreme thought created a hereditary gene ingrained into flesh and blood of an entire nation. They turned precision into a religious ritual. The mechanical watch, with hundreds of details, small as a hair strand, is exactly the effort of humans to impose order upon the chaos of the universe. When you look at a Patek Philippe, you are not looking at a piece of jewelry. You are looking at 500 years of history, of resistance, the victory of human will before brutal nature. If you believe that human value is measured by the depth of steadfastness, leave a like to share that belief with us. But looking back today, we are living in a world completely opposite. Instant noodle culture. Instant culture is killing that heritage. We are addicted to short-term stimuli of TikTok and Facebook. We lose the ability to sit still for 10 minutes. We are trading eternity to take moments of cheap fun. Swiss people teach that to master life, you must learn how to slow down the heart rate, like the oscillation of a spring pendulum. 4 beats a second, regular and immutable. Now ask yourself, are you controlling your time, or letting the flow of society wash away? Do you dare to live like a Jura craftsman, steadfast with the goal, even though out there snowstorm is screaming? Share thoughts of yours below. Philosophy. Time is the enemy of the hurried, but as the ally most loyal of the masters of patience. Outro. The Hedgehog strategy. The Hedgehog strategy. We have gone all the way around of Switzerland, from the bunkers, cold and mysterious, through the watch workshops, patient to the extreme, and stopped at the subtle sweetness of the chocolate piece. All those pieces create a portrait great of existence. Armed neutrality. Armed neutrality. In the military, the Swiss people have a tactic. IGELSTRATEGIE. Hedgehog strategy. Bristling up before the enemy. To protect the belly. Soft and warm. The final lesson for you is here. To have peace. Amidst a chaotic world, you cannot be weak. You need a cold head of the banker. To protect boundaries, you need meticulous hands of the watchmaker. To master time, and you need a heart knowing how to vibrate of the artist. To enjoy life. Do not choose a side. Amidst the wars, meaningless of society, choose the side of yourself. Build a miniature Switzerland right in your mind. If this video has helped you place the brick, the first for that fortress, press the like button and subscribe to the channel immediately to not miss the next intellectual journeys. We are your channel name, the place telling stories to heal and awaken. And now, turn off the phone and go find the chocolate piece of your own. Wish you a day calm and proud, like the Alps mountains. Goodbye and see you in the next video series. Part 3. The Alchemy of Taste. The Alchemy of Taste. Let us look at the map. Once again, Switzerland has no sea, no colonies, and absolutely does not have any cocoa tree. Geographically, they have no right to become king of the chocolate empire. So what happened? That is the victory of chemistry and intellect over natural limits. In the 19th century, when the whole world was drinking bitter chocolate like a medicine, then Daniel Peter, a neighbor of Henri Nestlé, came up with an idea. Crazy. Why not combine the extremely bitter bean from Africa with the creamy cow milk of the Alps mountains to create milk chocolate? But water in milk is the enemy of cocoa butter. They took 7 years testing in the laboratory to find the formula, blending two opposite things. This is not cooking. This is alchemy. Alchemy. Turning raw materials into edible solid gold. And the peak was the year 1879, when Rodolphe Lindt invented the technique CONCHING, continuous mixing machine. He changed the structure molecular of chocolate, making it melt exactly at 36 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the human body. Swiss people proved, when you have no resources, mindset is the resource, the only one you have. They export sweetness all over the world, but behind that sweetness is the steel spirit of scientists, never accepting mediocrity, looking from the perspective of national psychology. Chocolate is exactly the softest romantic part, protected inside the prickly shell of the hedgehog. They build the army to protect the border. They build bunkers to protect assets. But they make chocolate to protect the soul from the dryness of stoicism. This is the biggest lesson about balance. Balance. A true warrior not only knows how to hold a sword, but also must know how to enjoy a candy with absolute appreciation. Your life is the same. If there is only discipline, you will crumble because of dryness. If there is only enjoyment, you will melt because of weakness. You need both. Cold like a Zurich bunker, and sweet like a Lindt piece. Now ask yourself, have you found the formula? Milk chocolate for your life yet? The combination between the bitterness of effort and the sweetness of reward? Please share that formula down in the comment section. Philosophy. Discipline is not rejecting joy. Discipline is the most careful preparation to enjoy joy in the state purest